We're live. Oh man, we're live.
There's no one up, so you can wait.
That's fine. We're gonna. So everybody that's tuning in for the VOD or anything like that, we're just waiting on a couple people to join in. Welcome to our first Q&A of Applause. My name is Mike. I'm a trainer here. I've been just a little thing about me. I've been training for about 5 to 6 years now. I do love to do agility and a lot of physical therapy with my dogs. I also do a lot of behavioral cases when it comes to human-directed aggression and just animal-directed aggression. Pretty much in these segments, what we're going to be doing pretty much with all the trainers is just doing a Q&A form. So if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to comment on that page, or that picture, I should say, about your questions. And as you can see, I have them right here, ready to read out to you. I'm probably not going to have a lot of time. I'm not going to be able to go over everyone's questions. If you have any other questions, you can always feel free to give us a call. Pretty much, we can pretty much help you with your questions over the phone, and then maybe even just schedule with some training here with us. So, just to start off real quick, just going through a lot of things. You guys have a lot of questions. I can actually see some old clients pretty much saying, "Hey Mike, we miss you," and oh boy. All right, so here we go. Hi Mike, I'd love to hear anything you have to say for multi-dog homes and how to train and maintain in those. Well, someone that owns 6 to 7 dogs of their own, multi-dog homes are very hard to contain, and it's going to be a lot of just doing like a lot of crate training, giving them timeouts and stuff like that, training one-on-ones. You can have your sessions where you do multiple group sessions. Since having 6 dogs, I like to use my backyard, kick all my dogs inside, put one dog out, and just simply rotate them. Again, I don't spend an hour with each dog, because then again, that would be like a 7-hour day. 5 to 10 minutes each for each dog, and then pretty much at the end of all their sessions, I might even do a group session where I have a bunch of climbs out and, you know, platforms and mats where we can do maybe a stay with one and then a recall with another, which actually works on pretty much doing a lot of distraction work, I would say. I'm so sorry, my phone locked here. But yeah, going off pretty much with that, it's a lot of management, and again, when you're doing something on the lines of that, it's a lot of just like focusing and leaving it and just teaching your dog about how to maintain their space, you know. And you know, once a dog loses their space like that, you know, that's where, you know, okay, now I need to separate, and that's where like crates and X pens and stuff like that really come into play. Management's always going to be your best friend. Just give me 1 second, folks. I am so sorry. iPhones. Oh boy. Do you want to see if you can try to unlock that? I'm so sorry, everybody. Okay. So yeah, that just goes on invites like that. I mean, again, if you're having any troubles with that, again, it's always nice to have a trainer, so that way we can move around your house, so that way it's the best living style for you and your dog. Alrighty. So I'm having a lot of, wow, there's a lot of questions here, everybody, and good questions are a lot, and like I said, we're probably not going to get through all of them today. Hi Mike, this is from Crafty Posty, and I'm sorry if I mess up anyone's names. Hi Mike, I live on the first floor, okay, and my dog barks hysterically at everyone who walks by. I've tried to call him away, but offering high reward treats like chicken, cheese, but he'd rather bark. It's simply driving me crazy because he behaves so well at training. Okay. This is an everyday thing that I see here at pretty much day camps and everything like that. Oh, he's so well and good trained here. There's a lot of things that you can do in the home. Again, my dog's Australian Shepherd. She likes to bark in the window. First thing I did was pretty much block off visual boundary. Pretty much eliminating her, saying, you're not allowed to go to there. Now, it's going to be difficult when you're first training this behavior, and it's going to be a tug and war thing where you're going back and forth. You know, leash them up. You know, if they're not coming back, you know, walk with them back, and then once they give in, that's when that reward comes into play. There's a threshold here. You know, it's pretty much, here's the window, here's the dog barking, yap 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 yap. We pull away, yap 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 yap, and then we notice the barking might subdue. and then it's not there, and then that's when we can start training. It's good to push the threshold, but again, you don't want to over succeed the threshold, because once the dog is already exhibiting the behavior that it's already, or we don't want it to do, the training's out the window. That's where you just take the dog out, reset it, do something in like the kitchen or in a different area away from that window, and then go back to the training again. Remember, you want to start far away and then get closer to the window. Once it's to the point of just barking or anything like that, you could use something on the lines of using like a spray bottle and see if the dog responds in that way, where the dog's like, whoa, what was that? And then once the dog stops, you can reward that. But it's a lot of, it can be a lot of conflicting things. Any troubles with that, brainstorm with a trainer, get a private lesson in your home. It doesn't really seem that bad. But again, it's going to be that consistency and pretty much how you're rewarding your dog as that well. Francis the Beagle says hi, and he misses Mike, his BFF at AYP. I miss Francis too. Oh, here we go. We got a lot of ones. We got a lot. Here we go. This is from 2 doodles that are actually writing to us. Very smart doodles. Hi, Mike. We're 2 golden doodles who love jumping on people when we see them. Very common. Sometimes we will jump and lick a person's face. How can our parents work with us to stop jumping? And if they turn to training, what should be? Should we be training separately or together? Again, going back to that group training session, now it will be harder because I like the saying of monkey see, monkey do. If one is doing another one, they might even follow within those footsteps. There's a lot of good things that we can do when it comes to jumping. One is that we can always do the management sides where we always put on a leash of the dog. And once the dog is pretty much jumping, we can redirect that jumping pretty much off to that person and then ask for a sit. I like to use sit for everything. If you want a cookie off the counter, sit. If you want to go outside, sit at the door. If you want to say hello, sit. Pretty much once that butt is on the floor, that indicates me that you want something. Now, I always tell people, you're at a party pretty much and a dog is jumping all this, but there's this one dog that comes out and he just sits and looks at you. Oh my God, that dog is so good. It's such a polite way to do it. Now, some people always do the, oh, I don't mind it. I have dogs. I love dogs. He can jump on me. Well, that's not what we're training here. That's great. Your dogs can jump on you, but I don't want my dogs to jump on you because we're working on proper manners. However, if you were to pretty much have that person work with you, that's awesome. But if that person doesn't want to work with you, that's not the person to say. It's a bad influence on your dog. You want to set your dog up successfully to the point where you want to set your dog up to those people that are going to help you with your training. But again, start separately. So I would say start separately first, then start adding in the second dog. And again, second dog, more distractions, up the criteria a little bit. Oh man. Oh, here we go. All right, so Ferris also writes me, hi Mike, I have 2 dogs, a 6-year-old Chihuahua and a 5-month-old Golden. My Chihuahua has been getting more aggressive towards my Golden, and I'm afraid it's going to get worse. How can I work on their relationship? So, we're thinking of a 5-month-old Golden and it's a little mini Chihuahua. Now, in this case, I wouldn't even say the A word, aggression here, because let's think about it. Little dog has to tell big dog to calm it down, especially when you're dealing with an older dog. I would say it's more, here could be more of a correction. Now, I could be wrong just from the text, and that's something that it would be even more clear if a trainer was there into the house, but there are some things that we can do. Again, having separate training sessions where one person is working one dog and another person is working one dog, and you're just simply working with those dogs. I think here in this case is that the 5-month-old is just, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play, and the trial is just like, I ain't having any of that right now. You're way too much. If you feel like the Golden is way too much, we also have a day camp option here where you can have your dog pretty much do all day socialization and get an hour of training where we actually kick in those basic obedience, which actually can give the Chihuahua a break. It's really good for dogs to have that break and that separation. Again, going back to that multiple dog home situation. But pretty much on the lines, let's tire them out to the point where if the Golden is more tired, that's where we're more we're chilling in the room. The Chihuahua wouldn't have to correct as much. At that point, I probably wouldn't even be correcting the Chihuahua because in this case, I want to say that the Golden's probably super happy and I want to play, and you're too much for me. Stop. Okay. Grab the Golden, start working with the Golden, and that's where, if the Chihuahua wants to hang out, let the Chihuahua hang out. But if that golden is anxious and doing, that's the time to train. Go get the food, go get some training, go get a toy, go outside, start your basics. Sit, down, stay. A lot of impulse control with that golden is going to go a long way. And the more that you train that dog, they're probably going to get along better in the house. Oh man, we have a lot. I think we have time for a couple of more. Glow H75. Again, I'm going to botch these names up. I have a very sweet dog indoors, but outdoors, she is something else. She wants to lunge at runners and bikes. This is driving me nuts to the point that I don't want to walk her and just let her go and handle her business in the backyard. Lots of questions here. What are we walking on? What tools are we walking on? How we practice outside? How is the obedience inside? Again, there's going to be a lot of association when it pretty much comes to just training. Your dog may know sit down, stay inside, but once it's outside, it's a totally different ball game. You know what I mean? It's a whole different environment to the point where you might have to sit there and say, okay, level 1 complete, we've mastered it. Now we go to level 2, which is outside. We're back to the beginning. Go back to the lures, go back to the hand signals. When you're seeing more of bikes and runners, it's probably more of a visual stimuli to them, so it's getting them excited, like, ah. Eliminate that visual stimuli. Just completely eliminate it. Take your dog out of the equation, have them sit and look. A look command is really good to the point where if a runner was walking by, look, reward. Boom. Now I have my dog's intention. Now I can create distance from what my dog is reacting to, and we can work at a much more easier distance and not over push the threshold. Kind of going back to that window and barking situation. And also my next question would be to you is, what are you walking them on? Are you bringing treats on your walks, you know? Dogs that have problems like this, I always tell people, please bring treats on your walk. I sometimes even bring my dogs dinner on their walks, and they work for their food pretty much. It's really fun for them. They love it. They encourage it. And pretty much once I grab that leash, they're like, we're going, baby. We're walking. I'm with you. Nothing cares. I've had people in hoodies come up, pitch blackness, nothing. I'm too focused with mom and dad. So a little bit of practice there. Again, work on a recall, a look, and then also, again, what are you using? Are you using a transitional leash? Are you using a slip leash? Are you using a martingale? That really keys into play, because if you're using a back clip harness, that can actually be reinforcing them to do that as well. So you might want to look into getting something more of a no-pull harness as well. Let's see. I think we got time for maybe one more question. And we're gonna make this a good one, just real quick. Oh, hi, Lang Zeus. Yeah, Zeus's best friend. Looking forward to the size man. Oh, that's my boy. I do miss that dog. We have Cohiba here today, so. Hey, Mike. Any advice on marking? My puppy's 8 months, and I'm waiting to get him neutered. Okay. He doesn't do it in the house, but he does it as soon as he gets to a friend's house that he has a dog, and does it in the streets when I'm walking. Okay. Marking is a very thing, and it's something that, you know, it definitely has to do with neutering. However, we can do a management solution. If you're at your friend's house, leave the leash on him and do not let him out of your sights. It's pretty much like if you had a little kid in the house and you're like, wait a second, he's been quiet for a bit. And then you go over and he's got pretty much peanut butter all over himself. And you're like, what are you doing? I left you for 2 minutes. You know what I mean? You were so good. Don't trust that. You know that he's going to mark. Being outside and marking, to me, I don't have a personal issue with it. Again, a lot of with me, peeing could be a lot of stress reliever. And again, outside here is their social media. Like I'm talking to you guys out here. Dog Peace here, he made a post here. So now all the dogs are going to sniff and read that post, and then they're going to comment on that too. The marking outside, not so much. But again, waiting till you're going to be neutered, I can kind of understand that. Let the hormones and all the bodies develop and all the muscles develop in the joints as well, which is cool. But again, when you're doing something more in the house, I would just leave a leash dragging. You know what I mean? You can also work on a recall to the point where if you see him out of your sight, Rover, boom, he's right to you. And now you have sight on him to the point where if he looks like he's doing any sniffing or any malicious little things, hey, come here. Good boy. That way we redirect it and we catch the marking before it even happens. All right? I believe that's all the time we have here for now. So don't forget us to follow us on our Instagram and our Facebook pages. We do post there daily. There's videos and pictures and everything like that. We're going to be posting up what our next Q&A is. I don't know who the next trainer is going to be, but you're definitely going to meet all of our staffs. They're really, I love everyone here. We're all really knowledgeable. So I definitely want to thank you guys for taking the time to, on your busy day, to come out and listen to this segment, and just let us know how you guys like these Q&As so we can definitely do more of this stuff. So I'm going to head off. I'm going to go train some dogs. I hope everyone has a great, blessed weekend and everything like that. And I hope I'll see you on the next time.